Alright, I was wrong about Georgia. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Reject Reefer, and I got another banger video for you guys today. But first off, like, comment, subscribe. Let's be special, baby. Let's be special. So right after that, I was wrong about Georgia. Stetson Bennett played very well. He got the ball where it needed to go, and that running game was absolutely unstoppable. I really thought Michigan's defense would put up more of a fight, and those two star pass rushers for Michigan would be able to get home, put some pressure on Stetson, and kind of make a play, make a change. And that just did not happen. Michigan absolutely just steamrolled Michigan. I mean, the quarterback situation, I don't know why they weren't playing J.J. McCarthy more. It's obviously towards the end of the game. I know some of the backups were in for Georgia. A lot of the backups were in for Georgia. But J.J. moved the ball better than the offense had the entire game for Michigan. And Michigan's running games couldn't get going. I mean, Blake Corum, Hassan Haskins, they just couldn't get the ball rolling. And that's what really carried Michigan throughout the year. And that dude, Brock Bowers, was absolutely a stud. I knew he was good. I'd seen him. He played well against Clemson. I'd seen him do good things against Kentucky. But honestly, I didn't realize how dependent Georgia's offense was and how much it went through him. So whichever side of the field he was on, if he was on the right side, the left side, they were running the ball to that side. Stetson was rolling out that way and throwing the ball to him. And he's an absolute stud. I mean, he's a freshman right now, but he may honestly be the best tight end in college football right now. I would not be surprised by that at all. The Georgia defense looks solid. Darren Kendrick, it pains me to say it, but he played pretty well. It hurts me that he left Clemson, but obviously there were some differences between him and Dabo that just couldn't be worked out. So he left and went to Georgia, so he's working out well for them. Had 2 interceptions, defensive player of the game, so that's exciting for him. But Kirby Smart coached a very well team. He had them ready to go, ready to show up and roll. And they had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, honestly. They were a little bit embarrassed from that SEC championship game and said, hey, we're Georgia. We are here to play, baby. Let's go. Let's roll. Now, right off the bat, also, Georgia's currently a 3-point favorite over Alabama. And that's a tough one for me. Maybe the guys in Vegas, there's a reason they're making the odds. They may know something that I don't. But it's just hard for me to bet on a Georgia team that just got beat up by Alabama. I mean, how is Alabama not the favorite in that matchup? But obviously they see something in Georgia, and Kirby's got some coaching to do. Kirby's a great coach until he runs into Nick Saban. I don't know what happens. I don't know if it's kind of a shell shock or just a mental block when he goes against Nick, but for some reason Nick just has his number and stuff. So that's going to be a great national championship game. It should be fun to watch. And honestly, Georgia, Alabama, definitely the 2 best teams in college football. And they're both from the SEC. A little bit bummer that's a rematch. That's my one complaint about the national championship game, is that it's a rematch. I'd rather see 2 fresh teams play each other. If Georgia and Alabama hadn't played each other in the SEC championship game, if they're playing each other now, I'd be happy with that. So that's just something right off the bat. But it should be a really interesting matchup. I'm interested to see how Stetson kind of develops and changes against Alabama. It's the way he played against Michigan was the way he played against Kentucky, and he's played throughout the season where he hasn't been, outstanding, Bryce Young, Heisman, Deshaun Watson level, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston level, just a highlight machine. But he's gotten the ball where it needs to go. He's made smart decisions with it, and he's been efficient. He's been very efficient and very talented. George Pickens back and provided just kind of a threat on the outside. Even though, he didn't tear it up, put up huge yardage. Just the thought of, hey, George Pickens is back. He's on the outside. We got to guard him. I mean, Michigan put a Daxton Hill out on him, so that was taking one of their best defenders kind of out of the box and kind of using him just to isolate it. And people had to respect Pickens a lot. Georgia's offensive line really held up too. I mean, they kept Stetson clean. They'll have to do that against Alabama. I mean, Alabama has loaded pass rushers. I mean, they got guys everywhere that are going to be playing on Sundays. I mean, Will Anderson's the absolute stud. They got another freshman they kind of rotate in to kind of give some fresh legs in there, and he does great. So they'll have to continue that against Alabama. But against Georgia, they looked highly motivated. They kept a clean pocket, kept that jersey of the quarterback nice and clean. So we'll see if they can do that against Alabama. One thing I will say about the playoffs as a whole, though, is we got 2 games that weren't really competitive. I mean, sure, you can say, Alabama and Cincinnati, it was close. Cincinnati could have come back. Yeah, they could have come back. But the first drive of the game, Alabama ran the ball the entire time, just right down their throat. And you knew the game was over. You knew it was over right off the bat. Cincinnati was not going to win that. And then Michigan obviously got blown out by Georgia. So we had 2 games that weren't competitive. What makes people think that expanding the playoffs is going to give us more competitive games? I mean, some people are saying 12 teams. I mean, you want to see Iowa play Alabama? People, you do not want to see Iowa play Alabama, especially if it's in Tuscaloosa. Iowa is going to get absolutely destroyed. No. The max 6-team expansion, but I mean, we got the 4 best teams in there, and we couldn't get a competitive game out of the 2 games. I mean, maybe like national championship game. Hopefully, it is competitive. I hope it is, just for the viewership, and competitive football games are fun to watch. But out of the 4 best teams that were in there, we didn't get a competitive game. I mean, Nick Saban kind of said the same thing. I mean, obviously, Nick has some interest in it. It's an easier path, the less teams that are in there. But he had a valid point of, hey, how are we gonna get competitive games if we put a worse team against my Alabama team? That's essentially what he was saying. But I respect it. But I'll have a review coming out for the national championship game. I'm excited. I was wrong about Georgia, so I will apologize to all my Georgia viewers out there. But that's all I got for today, people. As always, have a great day. Tell somebody you love them. Deuces.